everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I'm sharing 5 cards made with the Love from Lizi Card Kit for July 2019. I've been invited to be a guest designer, so we're making 5 cards today with it. If you want to check out the unboxing or if you missed it, I'll link it at the end of the video. That way you can see everything that comes in the kit. It's fully loaded and fully packed. And I hope you can't hear my husband on the lawnmower. I'm sorry about that. But we're going to start off by inking up the little girl that's holding the watermelon. She's so cute and I just love her long lashes. I'm also going to stamp the watermelon slice. I'm going to stamp it a few times and then I'll zoom in. I'm going to color in these images with my Copic markers, and I did leave the colors listed up on the screen for you guys. But while I color, I play some music for you, and when I'm done, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done, and I think she is so cute. I just think her hair was so fun to color. Okay, Lizi's kit did come with coordinating dice, so I'm going to cut out my little girl and also all of the watermelon slices here. And then I did cut out a circle frame using white cardstock, and then a panel that was a card front size, and then also a smaller panel that is going to leave me a little bit of border on my pink panel. Lots of panels. We're just going to do a little bit of layering. So we're going to adhere this in the center. You can see that dark pink cardstock that came in the kit is kind of peeking out. I'm going to take a piece of foam tape and put it behind my little circle frame here. And you can see my circle frame's not exactly centered perfectly. I wasn't too worried about it because the imperfection can be hidden with my little girl there. So I just adhered that to my panel slightly towards the top. I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind my image here, and then we're going to place her to the right of the circle. And where I got my frame off balance, she covered it, so it worked out good. Okay, I'm going to pop up each one of my little watermelon slices, and then I'm going to kind of fill in my circle, but I thought before we fill it in anymore, we better add a sentiment. So Lizi's kits came with some clear epoxy sentiments. They're like a sentiment that's covered with glossy accents, all ready to go for you. I chose the one that says Hello Summer. I think it goes great with watermelons. And then I'll just take the rest of the watermelons and fill them in inside the circle. Just something a little different, but whimsical. I also decided to add some of the sequins that came with Lizi's kit this month. I'm just filling in the open areas inside my circle and kind of trailing them a little bit on the outside, just for a little added sparkle. And then with that sentiment being so glossy and shiny, I decided to take my glossy accents and go over all the watermelon images, and then also the watermelon that she's holding in her hand too. That way when it dries, it'll coordinate, I think, a little bit better with the sentiment. And then just to add a little highlight to her bow, I'm using my white gel pen. And then that finishes off card number 1. Nice little summer card. Here's a close-up. Okay, now for card number 2, we're going to start off by using some of the ephemera that came in this month's kit, and then this pattern paper. I'm going to trim it down. The size that I trimmed it down to is a 3-inch wide panel. I'm going to place it on the, and there's the lawnmower again. I'm sorry. He has to get the lawn done because it's supposed to be raining for the next few days. We've had so much rain over here. Oh my goodness gracious. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, back to the card here. I wanted to cover up the very top portion of the pattern paper with some of the ephemera. So I chose the little girl, the little blondie, and then I chose a couple of the little palm fronds, and then the little surfboard, and then one of the little flowers. I'm just kind of arranging it how I want it, and then this way I can stamp my sentiment. I'm going to use the sentiment that's in the stamp set. This one here, it says, "Have a wonderful summer." And I'm just going to use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink and stamp that in the upper left corner here. Lovely. And then I'll go ahead and tape down the darker greenery directly on my card base. And then everything that's left over, I'm going to pop up with some foam adhesive, which came in the kit too, which was lovely. Sometimes you don't know how much you use until you see a whole sheet of it gone. But I added a few little sequins, and then I'm going to just sparkle it up using some Nuvo glitter drops. And this is a gold. It's called Honey Gold, just for a little sparkle. I'm also going to add a little gold to the center of my sequins too. And that finishes off card number 2. Okay, for card number 3, I think this one turned out pretty, and I hope this gives you some ideas on how to use this. But I'm taking the washi tape in the kit. I'm just taking 4 pieces, layering them together on some white cardstock. I'm just making sure that no white shows. And then in the kit this month there was an Aloha die. I'm going to die cut out my sentiment that says Aloha with my washi tape. And it's a super sparkly, and it doesn't even shed, which is really nice. But it's a great way to use your washi tape. So there's my Aloha, and then I also cut out the outline, which was also included this month, with the vellum. Now the vellum had lime slices on it, so I fit it between the lime slices, just so it's the vellum. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my sentiment to my vellum, just using my glue. And then we'll go ahead and adhere our exclamation point. I lost the little dot that goes to the exclamation point, so I'm going to fix that with my glitter drops later on. Okay, I cut out a panel with white cardstock. It measures 3 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to add a little strip of the gold washi tape. I'm going to add it to the left here. And then this way my panel can overlap it a little bit, but I think I wanted to show a little bit more of that gold. So using my paper trimmer, I'm going to trim it down a 1/4 inch. So the measurements is 3 inches by 5 1/2 inches. Okay, there are 60 pieces of ephemera in Lizi's kit this month, and there was lots of flowers and lots of the palm leaves. So I thought we would line the left side of our panel with all those flowers. And then I thought we'd add a little more green with the stamp, the leaf image in the stamp set. I'm just using some green ink here and adding a few extra leaves. Okay, now I'm going to use my foam squares and pop up each one of my flowers. I'm going along that left edge there and kind of alternating colors. There were blue flowers and there were pink. And I'm going to just kind of basically alternate each one of those colors until that entire panel is filled in. And I think that looks so pretty. Now I had one pink flower left, and I thought we would kind of make a floating aloha. So I'm going to place it underneath the exclamation point. This way I can add glue to the left and right of my aloha, and then they'll be stuck on my flowers, and they're all nice and level, but my sentiment looks like it's floating. going to go ahead and add my adhesive directly to my card front, which I adhered to an A2 size card base. I don't think I mentioned that. And I think that looks wonderful. I'm going to use some of those same Nuvo Honey Gold glitter drops and dot the center of my flowers. And then I'm going to add a few little dots around the right edge of all those flowers. And that finishes off that card. I think I love that little gold sparkle. And I forgot to dot my exclamation point. But here's a close-up of that card. Okay, for card number 4, it's a pretty simple card, but I trimmed down the pattern paper that has the polka dots on it here. The panel size is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And then I'm taking Lizi's peel-offs, the thickest one in there. There's 3 different sizes. And I'm going around the all 4 edges of this panel. This is going to add a little sparkle. And it's going to give it a real finished look. Once we have this done, I have a piece of white cardstock that measures 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. And my original plan was to place it on my panel like that, but I ended up changing that. We're going to go ahead and add some peel-offs to the edge of our square panel here. And then once we have this done, we'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment. I chose the sentiment in the stamp set that says "Sweet Thanks." I think it goes perfect with the little ephemera girl that's holding the ice cream. We're going to add some foam squares behind her and place her to the left of our sentiment. And then we'll go ahead and adhere this panel directly to our card base. I just created a white card base with the white cardstock that came with this month's kit. And then we'll pop up our little girl with some more foam squares and then place her on the lower center. And then I thought, since we had a polka dot background, we'll add some colorful polka dots using the enamel dots in this month's kit. So I'm just adding a few different colors above the sentiment and then also below the sentiment. And after we have this done, I'm going to go ahead and take my glossy accents, and I'm going to cover the blue and the pink ice cream that she's holding just to give it a little shine. And then that finishes off card number 4. Okay, for my final card today, we're going to make another Aloha card. So I die cut out the word Aloha with black cardstock. Now Lizi's kit didn't come with black cardstock, I just pulled some from my stash. But I die cut out the word Aloha, and then the outline I die cut out with white cardstock. We're just going to go ahead and adhere these both together. And I didn't lose the little dot for the exclamation on this one. I also cut out a panel with the tropical pattern paper there, and that panel size measures 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. And then I also have a scalloped rectangle there. We're going to take a piece of the ephemera. This one has a pineapple and a lime and also a real pretty blue flower. And I found a flower that was almost the same size as the flower in that ephemera piece. So we're going to do a little layering. I'm going to layer this flower directly on top of the one that's on the pineapple there. I'm going to adjust it just a little bit. Lovely. And then we'll go ahead and add foam squares behind our sentiment, and we're going to tuck that right underneath our little fruit cluster here. Okay, we're going to flip this panel over. We're going to add this to a A2 size card base right in the center. And then we'll add some foam squares behind our scallop panel. And then the pattern paper was so pretty, it has a real pretty shimmer to it. I hope the camera picked it up, but it's a very soft and subtle, but it does have a little shimmer. This panel is going right in the center, and then I'm going to add a little sparkle with some sequins. And then after we get the sequins adhered, I'm going to use one blue enamel dot to center my flower. And then that finishes off card number 5. So now we're going to take a look at this card first. I'll show you a close-up. And then we'll take a look at all 5 cards that I made with the Love from Lizi July 2019 card kit. Again, if you missed the unboxing, I'll link it at the end of the video. It'll be on the very top. But super fun kit. Just think the little girl's adorable and fully loaded. I thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you are a Love from Lizi subscriber, I hope this gives you some inspiration. But if you're interested in, I'll even link the Love from Lizi shop, guys, so you can check it out. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.